Hey guys, today we're playing the sequel to Ghosts and Goblins, which is Ghouls and Ghosts. This is the arcade version on the PlayStation 2 Capcom Collections video game, like also available on the Xbox. Like, why did I say video game? I wanted to say arcade compilation, but I always feel like people confuse that for the title. So this is a sequel. The most popular version of this was probably on the Sega Genesis, and the Sega Genesis was actually closer to the arcade game than, let's say, like the Ghosts and Goblins version on the NES and the Commodore 64. Although I do have to say, I think the graphics are slightly updated, but I think this game came as a major graphical overhaul, just because I think people were used to seeing like the NES and Commodore 64 versions and not the arcade version, because I don't think this is as huge of a leap as, let's say, seeing this. Seeing the arcade game, actually, excuse me, I said that backwards. I don't think this game has as huge as a leap as seeing like the Sega Genesis version of Ghouls and Ghosts after playing the NES version, but this game looks better than the... Excuse me, this game has so much action I can't think. Shit. You're gonna see that a lot on this video, by the way, if you didn't know that already, if you're new to my channel. But I don't think this game looks drastically better than the first Ghosts and Goblins arcade game. But it does have some advanced effects and stuff like that, and I think the sprites tend to be better. Music seems to be a little bit better, but it looks like it's running on similar hardware. There's... Shit, why didn't I go up? Well, difficulty-wise, I think it's on par with the original, which means it's hard as shit. Especially on the first part. Usually in an arcade game, they usually let you feel like you're a badass, at least on the first level, but not this game. The zombies now have sickles, which is cool. There's a fairly decent port on the Sega Master System too, which I was surprised how good looking this was. Just like Ghouls and Ghosts. I mean Ghosts and Goblins, sorry. It's so confusing to remember each name when you're talking really fast. It's easy to get them mixed up. But just like this game's prequel, Ghosts and Goblins, it was like on almost every console imaginable at the time. But I think people tend to remember the Sega Genesis port the most. And from what I've seen, it's probably the most arcade accurate. It doesn't look as good as this version still. I'm surprised they didn't port the Ghosts and Goblins on the Sega Genesis, but I have a feeling with the NES they would have called it something else, and they probably would have considered it a whole game. As you see, you can get this special armor. Some of the weapons are different, and you have the ability to shoot up, which you didn't have in the first game. So there's tweaks in this game too. It's not just like, let's see how much money we can make on a sequel and change absolutely nothing. And it still retained the blood. I don't like these little vultures. I guess these are like the sequel's equivalent to those fat birds that used to be on the gravestones. Author looks a little bit more detailed. It's like you can see his hearts on his underwear a little bit better. Oh, that's a cool effect. I think that these trees blowing are a cool effect. A lot of the ports didn't really animate that too well. Apparently wind kills you. And I think like I said, the music sounds better. Autosave. It didn't let me put my name in like it done on the last game. We'll play this again so we don't have a short video. This game looks a little bit more bloody than the last one, which which probably killed Capcom when they had to port the sequel Super Ghouls and Ghosts to the Super Nintendo when they're not allowed to have blood. I know it would have killed me if I played a bloody version and then had to play a sterilized version. I can't imagine how bad it must have felt playing Mortal Kombat without blood. I'm glad that all the games kind of retain this theme. There's actually a PSP like version of Ghosts and Goblins that I don't think I mentioned on the last video when I was trying to mention the different versions. Yeah, there's a PSP version. It's one of those 2.5 3D games. Though I don't think it like rotates anything like that. I think it just has like polygonal graphics. They came out with a Mega Man arranged type of version game too. But that's a different day, different story. I do not have that game, so unless I acquire it somehow, you probably won't see it on my channel. But I'm sure there's good people that have probably recorded it and probably have awesome commentary. Not as good as mine, of course. So make sure you finish watching all my videos before you even think about checking out that person's channel, if they exist or not. I'm defending myself against someone's channel who may or may not exist. I don't know how mature that is. Which do I prefer? Zombies or crazy guys with sickles that may or may not be zombies? I can't say. I kind of like the zombies. If you ever see a game called Maximo for the PlayStation 2, probably at a thrift store if you have one nearby, at a fairly cheap price, especially the first Maximo, which is way better than the sequel versus the Army as in. We're gonna go one more time. I'm terrible at this game, but I already told you that, so it's not like I'm leading you into something you don't know. But this game seems fun. It seems like it's a little bit more fair than the other ones. I mean, it's still hard as shit, but it looks like they put some effort into updating things to make things a little bit more fair. Like, it's not the same as being able to shoot diagonally. Although those guys that appear sometimes out of treasure chests, I think is bullshit. But for an arcade game, they did put a lot of little tweaks in this. At some point, I'd like to play the ports, and I probably will once I run out of games of this channel, because I don't think I'm going to be stopping anytime soon. I think as time goes on, the list of games I'll play will expand. Because I really like doing this stuff. So I don't want to run out of stuff. Those things turn into demons. That's weird. Except I can't stab them. It teases you saying, oh, there's more of this game that you'll never see. So there. The control for author is a little bit stiff. So yeah, Maximo is kind of, they call it like a spiritual successor. But even when Maximo gets hit, he goes into his boxer shorts. But I don't think they got like the rights to the name, but the artists who did the character designs in these games actually worked on that game. And I was reading the magazine, they actually said they like designed the levels like they would design like an old school game where they kind of draw it on a like a crude drawing on a little piece of paper. Oh, this is hard. But I've seen people get really far in this game. I don't know whether it's because they just remember it like the back of their hand, or they're just really skilled. I don't know. But that's the arcade versions of Ghouls and Ghosts. It seems like a really good game, although hard, like the first one. But if you just want to play a game like that's really fun and controls well, but at the same time you have to understand that you're going to die a lot, and you're patient, and you just want to have fun and play a game without having the idea that you're going to win right off the bat. I probably sincerely recommend this game, especially since I would consider it like a classic, like a lot of people do. I think it's one of those games that you should probably play. Like, I think this series is important in arcade history and somewhat console history. Like, because I remember this as a kid. Like, I grew up later on. I played the older games when I was a kid, but they were before my generation, like the Atari 2600 age. Even though I played that first, they were before my generation, so it wasn't part of like the culture at the time that I was growing up. These games were more or less more part of that, so I consider these, I guess, in my eyes, as like the nostalgic contemporary classic type of games. But anyway, I'm rambling. I should probably make separate videos of these things that I think, because looking at all the colors and the flashing and shit like that, like, I start paying attention to that and I can't think straight. I know, awesome channel, right? But that's part of, I guess, the charm of this channel that you'll grow to love, hopefully. But anyway, thanks again, guys, for watching, and remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Say what you think. And yeah, I have a list of consoles on my channel description. If there's a game that you want me to play on any of those consoles, please feel free to send me a message either on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, and I will be more than happy to play that game for you. So yeah, believe it or not, you can interact with this channel and suggest things, and I will get back to you. That's the whole reason why I do this, is they hear from you guys. Otherwise, I just record these games myself and watch them by myself, alone in a room with the doors shut, and if somebody came by, they'd just see blue light flashing at the bottom of the door, and it's super creepy. But I don't do that. No, I share my videos on YouTube. So anyway, guys, I'll see you guys later. Alright, actually, I can't see you. I'll talk to you guys later. Alright, guys, bye. Oh yeah, and thanks for watching again.